Hello, Nigeria. We love that you're watching. I am Becky Madojemu, and on behalf of the hardworking crew, I welcome you to Newsline. You know how we do it every Sunday at this time. We take you around the country and even outside our shores. In fact, we have the world covered. Like in New York recently, we showed off our national colors, green and white, with pride and pageantry. Nigerians don't do small things. You see how big it was in the United States. Thousands of miles apart, the people of Katsina were all jubilant when their emir turbaned a new Saudana. Another emir celebrated 25 years of his reign. Then our crew visited a village where the people stored drinking water in the most unconventional manner. There are interesting issues debated by the public. The curious question, who is a man of God? And whose duty it is to man the kitchen, almost tore our newsroom apart. And so we took it to the court of public opinion. You can already see that this week's edition is extra spicy, and we will savor everything together after the news by Jomai Yusuf.
Thank you, Becky, and you're welcome to this nation's capital, Abuja. The presidency says the essence of the order for the implementation of the Executive Order 6 is to make for speedy trials and conclusion of graft cases. In a statement in Abuja, it says Executive Order 6 is not only revolutionary to the efforts to rid Nigeria of corruption, but a manifestation of systemic changes that are required to make necessary adjustment as the war against corruption continues. The question of the constitutionality of the restriction order is said to have been answered by the fact that a court of the land has given government a clean bill. The Immigration Service and other security agencies, the statement says, have the mandate of the president to carry out enforcement, and they will do so giving due respect to individual rights in line with the Constitution. The annual meeting of the World Bank in Bali, Indonesia, has ended with the federal government assuring it will continue to put in place strategies that will improve the living standard of citizens across board. Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed said the overall participation of Nigeria was fruitful and successful. Finance and Economic correspondent Leah Katung Babatude reports.
It is the largest meeting of fiscal and monetary policy makers with 189 countries in attendance. The aim is to improve the global economy and promote collective growth. The Nigerian delegation engaged in several meetings and made presentations on the critical areas of human capital development, education, climate change, financial technology, financial inclusion, markets, jobs creation, and revenue mobilization.
On the new presentation of the Human Development Index by the World Bank, where Nigeria was ranked low at 44% on stunting and some other low records against our country. While these results are disheartening and depressing, we nevertheless are not discouraged. Rather, we see this as a wake-up call. We admit that this pervasive action was due to long years of underinvestment in human capital. We have therefore now realized that we have to aggressively address this.
The delegation explained Nigeria's development strategies and efforts to eradicate extreme poverty coming from the poor ranking recorded by both the World Bank and the IMF.
I informed everybody, as they know, that we are working on increasing our revenues so that we can rely less on debt going forward, which is part of the ERGP. The ERGP says that we will borrow initially to get out of recession, to start growing again, and as our revenues pick up, we will be borrowing less.
Although Nigeria debt to GDP remains fairly okay, debt service concerns were raised, whereas we also raised issues that we are doing everything possible to broaden the revenue base so as to improve the tax to GDP ratio.
Also noteworthy is the assurance that the election year will not pose any threat to the nation's economic prospects. From Bali, Indonesia, I'm Leah Kating Babatude, NTA News.
Erosion-ravaged communities across the country will soon breathe a sigh of relief as the federal government says it is determined to carry out intervention projects to stop further loss of lives and property. Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Professor Stephen Ochiene, stated this while inaugurating the Adiebo Okotipang Pit Gully Erosion Control Works in Odokpani local government of Cross River State. Umo Basi Edit has details.
Gully erosion remains one ecological problem which has continued to displace people by rendering them homeless and sometimes taking lives. With this federal government intervention in Adiebo Okotipang, the potential dangers posed by erosion and flooding have been checked, with the community witnessing a boost in its socio-economic activities.
The President has exhibited the policy of equity, fairness and justice, because he's determined to ensure that the dividend of democracy of the present administration cut across ethnic boundaries, political differences and religious differences.
Members of the community, including the head of civil service of the Federation, Mrs. Winifred Oyoita, could not hide their feelings as they recalled how they lost lives and property to the gully erosion and overwhelmingly endorsed President Buhari for a second term.
My late father died fighting for this land to be rehabilitated, and to think that God has given me the opportunity to witness this day is a day of joy for me and all my sisters and brothers.
There's no road to the beach. Now you see the beach there. You can enjoy the atmosphere.
In Odokpani local government area of Cross River State, Umo Basidate, NTA News.
The federal government says for enhanced professionalism of the armed forces in discharging its constitutional role of defending the nation's territorial integrity, priority and support will continue to be top in the Buhari administration. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachuku reports that this was reiterated by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, who stood in for President Muhammadu Buhari at the inauguration of the 65 regular corps of the Air Force at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Kaduna.
62 members of the 65 regular Air Force cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy, comprising a police Air Force and one Togolese Air Force, assembled for the conferment of their presidential commissioning, unveiling of their ranks by their family members, and presentation of parchment into the Nigerian Air Force. The President, represented by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, acknowledged that the cadets are graduating at a time when the country is facing many contemporary security challenges, hence advised them not to allow themselves to be induced towards undermining the country's security.
Government is taking all necessary measures to safeguard lives and properties and to stem out all forms of criminality across the country.
The President also gave assurance of his administration's determination towards enhanced training of the Air Force for optimum performance in national defense and security.
I want to charge all of you to be prudent and do more with resources provided and to embrace the policy of zero tolerance for corruption.
The pilot officer cadets will be deployed to their various assigned units for further training in Air Force operations. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachuku, NTA News.
In the meantime, officers and men of the 302 Artillery Regiment, General Support Nigeria Army in Onitsha, have been enjoined to be responsive professionals and ensure sanity within the areas of responsibility ahead of the 2019 general elections. Corps Commander Nigerian Army Corps of Artillery, Major General Abubakar Tarfa, gave the charge while on operational visit to the regiment. Ekene Ndule has details.
Major General Abubakar Tafa, who took over in April as Commander, Nigeria Corps of Artillery, is currently on a familiarization tour of formations and units under the 82 Division Area of Responsibility. Arriving 302 Artillery Regiment Onitsha, Major General Tafa was taking round the existing facilities for on-the-spot assessment by the Commander, 302 Artillery Regiment, Colonel Yakubu Buala. Addressing the officers, Major General Tafa commended those who recently returned from the northeast while assuring them that the army hierarchy is poised towards improving their welfare as well as ensuring discipline.
As part of the Chief of Army Staff vision is to ensure that we are ready to carry out our constitutional responsibility, and training is one of the most important aspects.
The commander further enjoined the officers and men of the army to remain apolitical and to abide by the Army Code of Conduct as Nigeria gears towards the 2019 general elections. Major General Tafa will continue his tour in other units and formations under the 82 Division. In Onitsha, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Still on the army, troops of 1 Division Nigeria Army under Operation World Punch have sustained the clearance of bandits and kidnappers camps in the northeast. The recent is the raid conducted in collaboration with local vigilante on criminals camps in Kidandang, Ngwar Megwari and camps along Dokari-Ghana Road. A statement by the Deputy Director Army Public Relations, Colonel Mohammed Dole, states that several bandits were neutralized with arms recovered while the camps were found littered with empty alcoholic bottles and narcotics. Full autonomy for the Independent National Electoral Commission and recourse to professional media work ethics are being canvassed by stakeholders towards actualizing credible elections in Nigeria. This formed the discourse at the technical session of the 14th Nigeria Guild of Editors Conference in Asaba. Elaho Agbara reports that the Director General NTA was represented by the Executive Director News, Muhammad Labo.
Traditional media, prospects and challenges, digital journalism, turning data to money, and ensuring violence-free election in 2019 were the topics various resource persons and other discussants dwelt on.
Politics is a service and not a command position to lord it over other citizens of the country.
At the executive session, the host governor, Dr. Ifan Yokoa, and his counterparts from other states represented spoke on credible elections in 2019. Governor Kowa noted that the media must be at the forefront in the crusade of credible elections. He advocated for a change of INEC's funding for it to be truly independent.
I do not believe on my own that any election has gotten to the level of credibility in this country that we can beat our chest to say yes, we have gotten it right. We are still very far from getting it right, and it is our hope and prayer that we'll continue to work hard to improve on our preparations.
We are more than just a reporting medium. We play the role of integration and cohesion, enhancing, facilitating the unity of the nation.
The conference ends on the 14th of this month, while inspection of projects executed by the state government in the last 3 years takes place Saturday. Elo Agbara, NTA News.
The Director General, Voice of Nigeria, and a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress APC, Osita Okechukwu, has advised Nigerians and Igbos in particular to take a deep breath before celebrating the emergence of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his running mate, the former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi. Mr. Okechukwu, who gave the warning in Enugu, says the euphoria is unwarranted. BT Ego Bemen reports.
Mr. Okechukwu said from his own observation, it is still better to stay on with President Muhammadu Buhari because he has laid the foundation for an enviable economic future for Nigeria. He gave example of the rail projects, massive road rehabilitation across the country, and the various social investment programs which have empowered millions of Nigerians, as well as the school feeding program which has increased school enrollments.
President Muhammadu Buhari is voted for. The tendency is for him to complete all these programs to the peak of about 80% by 2023. When a lot of states are self-sufficient in food production, they might not care about the oil.
He further warned that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar promises of restructuring and serving only one term in office should not be taken hook, line and sinker, as there is no way he will not seek a second term in 2023, thereby foreclosing the chance of Indigbo producing a president.
But all I'm telling the Igbos, and indeed Nigerians, is that all that glitters is not gold. The quick fix promises they are making is neither here nor there. It cannot be actualized the way they are depositing it. To say you can restructure the country under 6 months is fallacy.
The Director General insisted that Nigerians should vote President Buhari again, as he remains the best option for now, more so as he is a man of integrity. In Enugu, Beauty Egobami, NTA News.
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, says the laboratory section of the National Tuberculosis Center Zaria, which was gutted by fire this year, will be rebuilt soon in line with the federal government's commitment to the eradication of the disease. The minister stated this in Zaria while inspecting facilities at the center. Tina Toro reports.
The health minister inspected facilities at the center and pledged the commitment of the federal government in ensuring that it delivers on its mandate. This has become necessary in line with the concern expressed by President Muhammadu Buhari on eradication of tuberculosis at the just concluded United Nations General Assembly.
Well, one of the promises we've made is to network with our partners to make sure that we put in more resources there, and that's going to happen. We will also take care of this center in our 2019 budget proposals, so that this center can really be first class, not only in Nigeria, but in Africa.
The National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Training Center supports the field training of health workers and community volunteers in tuberculosis management and control, among others.
We have carried out training at various centers, and then during your time, sir, we are proud to say that we have constructed and built an additional leprosy ward, which is a 20-bed capacity.
The laboratory unit of the center was gutted by fire in March this year. Earlier, the minister was at the Emir of Zazzau's palace to solicit his support in sensitizing the people on personal hygiene. In Zaria, Tina Turu, NTA News.
Federal Ministry of Water Resources is sensitizing the internally displaced persons at the IDP camps across the FCT in Abuja on the importance of imbibing the culture of hand washing and its benefit. This is preparatory to the commemoration of the 2018 Global Hand Washing Day on the 15th of October. Musbahu Dan Wahab was with the theme on the sensitization exercise in Wasa IDP camp in Abuja and now reports.
This is Wasa community in Abuja Municipal Area Council. Seemingly a far cry from decency, but it is also a refuge for internally displaced persons. Burdened with the quest to go back home, other contending issue still rears its head. The camp is suffering from poor sanitation and lack of access to clean water, thereby facing the danger of sanitation-related diseases. But there is good news as the National Task Group on Sanitation in Nigeria under the Ministry of Water Resources has taken the campaign of hygiene and sanitation to the camp. Their target is breaking the transmission of related diseases and attaining a healthy society with the culture of hand washing.
This year is emphasized so much on nutrition from food. So we are saying that we should wash our hands before we prepare our food. We should wash our hands before we eat our food.
To some extent, a lot of people are imbibing the culture of hand washing, especially the secondary schools and the children.
You know, they do like that. If we go to class, they come to show us and we begin to do as they teach us.
In Abuja, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Police Officers' Wives Association, POWA, has donated food and other items to an orphanage home in Abuja. Akim Dairo reports that wife of the Inspector General of Police led the women to the orphanage home. The report.
That's official handover of food and essential commodities from the Police Officers' Wives Association to the Fakado Orphanage Home, Abuja. It is part of the humanitarian and charity service of the poor, and President Asad Ibrahim Idris is quick to point out that supporting the weak and vulnerable in the society reduces social vices.
Because she values fatherless and motherless babies a lot.
I know that God is there for them, and I know with our help and other people help too. What I'm going to just say to these children is that God should guide them and protect them, and they should get a brighter future.
We thank her husband, the IG of police. We thank the President of Nigeria.
That may God bless her and give her all her needs. I want to tell her that God will bless her.
The item is expected to provide relief to the orphanage, which has 42 children.
The 22nd Annual National Quranic Recitation Competition, organized by the Jama'atul Alatul Bidi'a wa Iqamatus Sunnah with headquarters in Jos, Plateau State, has been concluded with Umar Abdullahi from Jigawa State emerging the overall best. Though the Mohammed reports that 118 reciters from 22 states, FCT and Niger Republic participated in the event hosted by Niger State.
The categories include memorization of the glorious Quran in Tajweed, theoretically and practically, with tafsir of the 15 and 16 portions, and the memorization of 40 easy, 20 easy, 10 easy, and 5 easy, as well as good intonation in recitation. At the end of the one-week event, prizes were presented to the first 5 winners of the different categories, ranging from and including cash, sewing machines, motorcycles, refrigerators, television sets, vehicles, and Islamic books, including the Holy Quran. Umar Abdullahi from Jigawa State emerged the overall best in the senior category and received a Peugeot 406 saloon car, 600,000 naira, and Islamic books as the star prize. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, while decrying the level of misconception on religious issues in the country, called for the general education of youths in religious matters to avoid them being misled.
I hope with the kind of prize donations we give out, it will encourage more and more youth to participate.
Sheikh Mohammed Sani Aya Jingir called on Muslims to avoid ascribing anyone or anything with Allah.
And now sports. Team Leadway garner more points in this weekend's NCC Tennis League matches played in Lagos as Sports in Africa intensify efforts in popularizing mixed martial arts in Nigeria. Olumide Oguntola has details on Sports Update.
On entrepreneurship in diverse trades and crafts, whether you're a public or private organization seeking to improve the skills of your personnel or an individual looking to acquire skills that will increase your chances of employment or even to help start your own business, today's ITF has a program for you. Speak to us today. Contact our area offices nationwide or visit our website www.itf.gov.ng. ITF, developing the nation's human resource.
Thanks for staying on the line. Let's begin with a dose of spirituality. A man of God is a preacher, or should I say a clergyman. This is the basic definition. Muhammad Abdul Qadri, however, examines the factors that qualify a man for this term, man of God. He will be doing this with the help of public respondents and those who should know.
The public domain is saturated with mixed reactions anytime a question is raised as to who a real man of God is. It therefore propelled me to conduct an opinion poll to fill the pulse of the people on the trending public discourse on who a man of God is.
This is the popular Lagos-Lekki-Epe Expressway. I'm on a mission in search of a man of God. My job is simple and tasking, because how do you identify a man of God from the multitude of people on the streets? However, come along with me. Let's see how it goes.
I know the God I serve and I know how I serve him.
Because we believe in Christ and we have to follow the tenets of Christ.
This respondent says every living soul, irrespective of religion, is a man of God, while another respondent has a different view.
All that is born by woman is a man of God.
Body is servant of God. There is no man of God.
Others say a godly person is defined by his or her good character.
A man of God is basically someone that prays, someone that can talk to God on behalf of us on earth.
I think man of God is someone who really fears God.
The consensus is that a man of God should not maim,
should not kill and should not betray fellow human beings.
The man of God is the ones that believe in Allah and obey his commands.
Apparently unsatisfied with the conflicting arguments in the public domain on who a man of God is, I sought the views of some religious leaders on what makes them to be counted as men of God.
A real man of God is somebody called by God himself. And when God calls you, you will know. Your heart will manifest that he called you. Your spirit will bear witness with your spirit that he will call you.
And to be a man of God implies that you are conscious of him at all times.
All of us, through our baptism, we are all called.
Are there some exceptional cases of fake men of God taking advantage of unsuspecting members of the public?
People will call them, they say man of God, they will pray for you. Then after praying for you, they will collect money from you.
Yes, he had rosary, Muslim rosary, that we normally pray with. So when I observed that he's up to something, I left.
Actually, the real man of God, Allah knows. Because Allah says in the Quran, Inna akramakum indallah atqakum.
Respondents say Nigeria is blessed with real men of God who are distinguishing themselves as peacemakers and champions of national unity and cohesion. Becky, what is your take on who a real man of God is?
Ahmed keeps putting me on the spot. Well, a man of God is one who has the fruits of the Spirit. It's that simple. Moving on, the diverse cultural heritage of the people of Zauzau, Suleja Emirate in Niger State came to light with a colorful durbar to mark the silver jubilee anniversary of the Emir, Malam Muhammad Awal Ibrahim, on the throne. Olagunju Ariyomi reports that the celebration, which held in Suleja, spanned 3 days.
The historical city of Suleja, headquarters of the Zazzau Suleja Emirate Council, played host to visitors who came from far and wide, as well as sons and daughters, as the 8th emir of the Suleja dynasty, who is also the first civilian governor of Niger State, Malam Muhammad Awal Ibrahim, attained 25 years on the throne of his forefathers. To kickstart the celebration, the celebrant, in company of other first-class traditional rulers and title holders, were treated to a horse race comprising teams from other emirates. The Zazzau Suleja ruling dynasty with 2 royal houses was installed in 1828. The intercultural harmony with the Bagis is still evident, especially with the cultural performances on display. The double procession was a sight to behold, with colorfully attired horse riders and horses being escorted by a mix of hunters and others.
Strive as much as we can to ensure we promote peace, stability amongst the kind of people that come to settle with us here.
The leadership style of the Emir of Suleja is a very peaceful one. The celebrant is a great leader. He's a leader that consults before he takes decision.
In terms of educational advancement, a lot of things have been realized.
The Emir is a father of all, and the role has been playing is very satisfactory. We are living in peace. The Emir of Suleja is doing his best.
To round up the celebration, special prayers led by the chief imam of Suleja, Malam Tahir Shuaibu, was held, invoking God to grant the emir long, healthy and prosperous life, as well as the peace and progress of the emirate.
Anniversary celebration to the Emir and his people. Now, the assumption is that people who migrate out of Nigeria do so in pursuance of a better life abroad and have the tendency to forget their roots with time may not be altogether true. Makut Simon Macham, who was opportuned to mark Nigeria's 58th independence anniversary in New York, felt the Nigerian presence right there in the United States. He will be sharing a bit with us just now.
This event has been going on for about 28 years and brings Nigerians from all over the United States and beyond to celebrate and showcase Nigeria in a unique way and in a unique city, New York.
But at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, Nigeria is our home. And we have come out here every year to celebrate Nigeria, and we are indeed very happy.
So in New York, we are proud to be Nigerian, and we are ready to showcase Nigeria. And it's sending signal that Nigeria is good and people should come and invest.
So my appeal to Nigerians is that we should be able to manage our crisis. We should be able to come out and showcase ourselves on those things that are uniting us, on those things that will bring out the best in us as Nigerians.
To celebrate Nigeria at 58, therefore, residents and visitors in Manhattan, New York, again were anxious for a taste of Nigeria's culture, music, food, and vibrancy. And so the parade, which commenced from the 54th Street through to the Nigerian House on 44th Street or 2nd Avenue in Manhattan, was nothing less than the best of Nigeria. We are curious to know what this occasion means to Nigerians in the diaspora, particularly the younger ones.
We must note that our being here is a privilege. Home is still home. Anything we do here, we must remember home, how to improve the lives of people at home.
I look forward to Nigeria prospering more, uniting, and making use of its resources, as opposed to turning outside and depending on each other, as opposed to depending on the Western world.
Our curiosity was further stretched to find out what Americans and non-Americans alike feel about Nigerians and Nigeria.
My Nigerian relatives are awesome. We're all happy, we're all family, we all share culture and fun, so I like it.
What do you hear about Nigeria as a country? What do you know of it?
Thank you. It is the most highly populated country in Africa, and it has a lot of natural resources, and especially oil, and very talented doctors, engineers, and very high professionals who serve all over the world and in Nigeria. I have a very high respect for Nigerians.
Yeah, we just take in the culture and we love the food, and yeah, it's great.
I want these flags in the air right here. What's the energy like right here? Flags in the air, flags in the air, flags in the air.
So nice to see them wearing our jersey too. No doubt you agree that Nigerians in New York did well with that celebration. Next up, they embraced the traditional way of water storage over the years, but today things are changing and they risk putting their health in danger should they continue to hold on to the practices of yesteryears. Musa Toliat will reveal to us the lifestyle of some communities in Ogun State where the people are yet to modify the storage of nature's gift in line with civilization.
Water is a basic human need for survival. Statistics by the World Health Organization estimates that more than 1 billion people globally have zero access to clean water sources. Thankfully, rainwater is a viable source to natives of Imeko and adjoining communities such as Idofa, Ilara, and Iwoyeketu in Ogun State.
We have the advantage of rainwater because down here we know that the pipe-borne water is not anything you can see from one house to another.
This is how the people have been able to harness nature's gift to them. They have constructed unconventional water storage tanks where rainwater is stored, an age-long tradition that has stood the test of time.
I think it's as old as Imeko. When we talk of 150 years, 200 years back.
The local water storage tank is constructed and positioned in a way that rainwater from the roof of a house flows through a large funnel attached to a water pipe, which provides a channel for rainwater into the storage facility. Ironically, the construction cost of a local storage tank is about 100,000 naira, which makes it more expensive than a modern plastic water tank.
Dry season necessitates the construction of the water storage tank. Durability of the tank depends on the available materials.
Constructing the water storage is not an easy task. It takes 15 bags of cement to construct an enduring water storage tank. Regardless of its size, the depth is usually not more than 15 feet.
Why the preference for the old?
The belief is durable and it can last for a period of time, a long period. Our water here, if you want to drink water here, maybe water from the river or water from the borehole is sometimes salty. But the water stored in the storage is not salty at all.
As time goes on, the plastics, they burst, thereby resulting, taking them to those who can mend them. So by mending them, that means the water in it is contaminated.
Interestingly, emphasis is placed on securing the natural source of water than preserving it. But unknown to many, the risk associated with consumption of water from the local storage tank outweighs the benefits.
We even use it for cooking because we maintain the hygiene, because we know since we are taking in, it's very important to us.
If it is properly covered, more germs cannot enter into it. Like, our people need to cover it properly.
It's ignorance. It's ignorance. If they use it for washing, it's okay. And for when they want to build this mud house, they collect water there. It's easy and okay for them. It's a good breeding place for the mosquitoes. They should contact the sanitary inspectors in the local government where they can give them chemical to do the treatment, to treat it.
My house is covered with asbestos. Asbestos have elements of cement, calcium, and magnesium. And when all these things react with rainwater, they produce what we call dark, gelatinous precipitate that is not good for consumption.
As a way forward, these respondents believe that collective resolve to embrace modern way of water storage would help curb the thirst in the communities and safeguard their health.
Government at the local level, or state level, or federal level, organize seminars. So, okay, this is what is going on as a supplementary to water production for people in our localities. Okay, what we suggest as the way forward to improve on it.
In Beko, people just can't seem to let go of old practices. Wonder why. Our next segment is a roll call of social functions. Do not touch your remote control. You don't want to miss any moment.
Pension scheme. Several African countries have visited the National Pension Commission to key into what Nigeria has done for its workers.
We find that a lot of people are not interested until closer to retirement. We have customers who would tell you they've been on the scheme for the last 10 years, they've never opened their statements, and statements are delivered quarterly. So this is something that we will continue to do, and I believe it can only get better.
Presenting a paper on the operations of contributory pension, Chief Executive Officer of High Street Consulting, Wilson Ideva, summed it up when he remarked, "If you want full rest at retirement, contributory pension scheme is the answer."
Like what you have before, defined benefit, when you retire, you begin to wait for government to pay you. Now it's what you have contributed.
The joint retreat, which was the first of its kind, had as its theme emerging trends in pension administration in Nigeria.
On this year's traditional Ofala festival, celebrated by the people of Onitsha in Anambra State, was a moment to remember as a royal banquet supported by telecoms giant Globacom formed the high point of the celebration. Apart from honoring the royal father, Igwe Alfred Anemeka Achebe Agbogidi, Globacom used the event to reward loyal subscribers.
Their royal banquet attracted royal fathers, diplomats, government officials, Globacom subscribers, and indigenes of Anambra State.
The regal dance steps, the monarch of the monarchs, the chairman of the Southeast Traditional Council.
The excited crowd, dressed gorgeously in their traditional costume, showed up in their hundreds to prove their loyalty to the culture of the Indigbo. A live band set the tone for the entertaining evening. While commending the Onitsha people for staying true to their heritage, Globacom's regional manager, Augustine Mamuro, assured them that Globacom will continue to offer life-changing products and services to its teeming subscribers.
Very good thing that you will see in Onitsha. From this month, we already have 4G LTE network that is very active and aggressive in Onitsha. So for our teaming customer this Christmas, you are going to get double offers, over 125% increase in data offer commencing from this month.
The Obi of Onitsha, decked in his majestic royal regalia, and other dignitaries lauded the efforts of Globacom for supporting the Ofala Festival for 8 years running.
Omoba Prince Mike Adenuga Jr. has been personally involved, and that is very, very uncommon for the head of a large organization, a global organization like Globacom, to be directly involved with Ofala Onitsha, which I think is a mark of not just commitment, but the significance that himself and the company.
Wonderful. It's great. This is not my first one. I was here last year, right before the elections. Everything went well.
Several lucky winners emerged in the highly contested age group competitions and raffle draw.
And we pray that the great God will keep providing for Glow Limited.
Glow is an indigenous brand, and I pray that everybody will patronize Glow. Glow is a very good network.
The prestigious royal banquet climaxed with a special dance by the royal fathers, who were joined by other dignitaries.
Congratulations to the Igwe and, of course, the lucky winners. Moving on, incredible India, the beautiful and catchy slogan of that country would have been meaningless without the sacrifice of one man whose 3 principles of truth, non-violence, and peace brought about the transformation now associated with India. Who is this man and why is he being celebrated? Oyinaya Kalu Oka will tell us right away.
The Indians truly showed that they are incredible, starting from the entrance of the hall, decorated in colorful and beautiful design of peacock, left one wondering what is happening inside the hall. Wow, a photo exhibition to mark the 150 years birth anniversary of the late Mahatma Gandhi, a leader described by many as unique and an icon. Looking at the story of Gandhi through these photographs, one could see a man who sacrificed a lot for his country. Through hard work, determination, denying himself of his freedom. Most times when Gandhi had nothing to do at his spare time, he sat at his spinning machine. One thing stood him out, despite the fact that he had the opportunity of accumulating so much wealth. Gandhi chose to live a simple life. Here is a prototype of the spinning machine used by Gandhi. Whenever Gandhi was free, he was either with children or he will be spinning for his spare time.
We are start like this to making thread, and then after slowly we are become make it big industry.
There are 100 pictures selected from about 100,000 photographs. They are original photographs brought out of archival collections of the National Gandhi's Museum in New Delhi. Each of these pictures tells an interesting, inspiring stories of the life and work of Gandhi.
It's a symbol of unity, togetherness and peace.
is a connection of putting the best to your people and to the community and to the nation in total.
He was very principled, very resilient. He's very inspiring that through his resilience he was able to inspire his people to not give up.
Gandhi himself has passed through what normal Nigerian youth has ever passed through in life. But he simplified himself out because he wants to make a difference for his country.
We should imitate Gandhi legacies because he's a good legend.
Other sidelines at the event include exhibition by Indian companies in Nigeria that manufacture products using 100% locally sourced materials. One of such manufacturers is the West African Ceramics Limited, producers of royal tiles and other household products. With its main factory in Ajaokuta, Kogi State, and 5 other states, the company produces with locally sourced raw materials, creating employment for hundreds of youths.
As this is going both India and Nigeria relation, both is having very good leaders. So Nigeria is having very good leadership. Since 4 years I'm observing there is a tremendous development in industries. So more industries welcome.
We have generated close to 1,750 Nigerians that are working. That is direct. And if you're looking at the indirect, looking at generating employment close to 2,500. Now we have a second phase of our factory that is coming up. That one is also going to generate more employment for Nigerians.
Creative pictures on marbles of several African leaders designed by the royal tiles were presented.
Would say Gandhi is a world legend. Humanity will forever remember his legacies. Now, are you aware that plants and flowers reduce feelings of fear and aggression? How much knowledge do you have about gardening? Well, Annie Daniels was at a flower and garden exhibition in Lagos, where the wife of Nigeria's Vice President, Dolapo Osinbajo, displayed her love for flowers.
An exciting array of rare plants, exotic flowers, standard gardening equipment, and fascinating furniture collectively hugs you as you walk into this hall. No wonder the event is tagged Open Day for Gardeners.
I traveled through Nigeria just visiting gardens, interviewing owners of gardens. And it's amazing how many people in their hundreds and thousands that are interested.
People import plants and flowers from, across, from abroad. And over here, those plants are like exotic to us. We like them. Now, over there, they also like our own plants.
We human beings have done a lot of damage to the environment. Our activities emit poisonous gases that deplete the ozone layer. And our God has given us nature to absorb all these toxins.
This is why horticulturists and gardeners are proud to present their reservoir of knowledge in gardening and horticulture. The wife of Nigeria's Vice President, Dolapo Osinbajo, a gardener, has never hidden her love for gardening. She was visibly elated. She rubs minds with other lovers of the arts. The gardeners afterwards took turns to intimate the guests on how to start and conserve a garden.
And perhaps you need to have a much smaller space because it is not possible for you to do as much, especially if you're working. But if you decide that you will hire help, then you can undertake a much larger garden, a much larger space. It's best to start off with plants that are low maintenance and then build up to the more exotic.
It was also a time to introduce new species. Wait a minute. How many of us know about the national flower called Costus spectabilis? Okay, listen.
Costus spectabilis is the flower on the Nigerian coat of arms. It is our national flower. They can be grown in gardens.
It's a beautiful plant. It grows in, marshy areas. And when the colonialists were here, it used to grow everywhere in Lagos State. And we cannot find it anywhere. We've been looking for it, and we can't find the Costus spectabilis.
I don't know about you, but I never heard of this flower until now. Now you know that flowers and plants do not only beautify our environment, they also enhance our mental well-being.
The land is green, it's green. Oh, oh. There's so much to learn about flowers. Thanks for that, Annie. We'll take another break. Stay on the line.
Speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, in collaboration with Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, and the Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, invite housing industry stakeholders and the general public to the groundbreaking ceremonies of the National Affordable Housing Delivery Program for Nigerian workers. States, locations, and dates are as follows. Nasarawa State, along the new Kwandare Kefi Road, Lafia, Wednesday, 10th October. Kogi State, Westland Use, Zone A1, Krosha, Lokoja, Thursday, 11th October. Enugu State, Plot B4, Edebela Nsuka Local Government Area, Monday, 15th October. Abia State, along Uzuakoli Road, Ubani, Umuahia, Tuesday, 16th October. Akwa Ibom State, Ikoton to Nsit Local Government Area, Abak Road, Uyo, Thursday, 18th October. Time is 10 a.m. prompt. Pilot program features 2 states in each geopolitical zone in addition to 2 special sites, Lagos and Abuja. 100 housing units per state and location. Everyone deserves a home.
All my fears are running. What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women. And it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
Ever since he could hold a bat, Charles wanted to play like his big brother. Victor had skills that matched the best in the land. Never mind, little brother, drink your Dano milk and keep practicing. So that is what he did. And step by step, glass by glass, the boy grew in spirit and strength. Drink your Dano milk and be strong.
Also available in Dano Cool Cow, Dano Slim, and Dano Flavored Milk. Choose Dano, choose goodness.
I need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural glow.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion, containing unique berry extracts and UV protection to restore your natural glow and care for your skin.
Hello, here to pick up your sister? Mommy? Wow, such beautiful glowing skin.
Reveal your natural glow with Natural Fairness Body Lotion from Nivea.
This is my first experience riding this train. I've heard about it so much all around the city.
Actually, I'm surprised that such a development is coming to us.
I was impressed, saw neat, and actually you can compare with any type of train, all over the world.
I could not imagine that I'll be going from Edo straight to the airport by train.
And the environment is so clean, and the ACs are cool.
I want to commend federal government for the initiative to provide these train services.
And I wish to laud the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in seeing that this project is a reality.
Please get ready to alight on the right side of the train. Thank you.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
To have you back. When the Emir of Katsina turbans the new Saudana, it was with cultural grandiosity. Hamis Urogo reports on the symbolic significance of this traditional office and why the people of Katsina were ecstatic over the turbaning.
Katsina is the home of royalty, ancient and powerful. Today, the Parliament of Katsina is invoking that spirit of royalty. The Emir of Katsina is today intervening his second ever Sardauna. Beautiful, you ask me, symbolic in the whole north. The stage is set.
Katsina is home of icons, powerful and influential people who leave their memories to the world. The tradition continues. The Emir of Katsina, Alhaji Abdul Mumin Kabir Oshman, officially turbans his new Sardauna on the head of the person he believes will continue the tradition. He is Senator Ibrahim Ida, a lawyer, a banker, a politician and philanthropist. In the northern traditional institutions, the title of Sardauna goes to exceptional people, individuals with the tendency to replicate the virtues of the late Sardauna of Sokoto, the premier of the northern region. Katsina actually borrowed the title from the Sultanate. In context of the eminence of the title and its new bearer, Katsina was literally exploding with the people of goodwill. The trumpets of royalty blare, spontaneous dances of joy broke out on a large scale, and joy and excitement are on the face of everyone. The Emir of Katsina, Alhaji Abdul Mumin Kabir Osman, reinforced why Ida is made the Sardauna and charged him to support the education and gainful employment of youth, to be generous to the needy, fight against drug addiction, and expand the horizon of contact and relationships between the North generally and the world. The arena was a picture of dignitaries who really shared a thought for the new Sardauna.
Whoever is given the title of Sardauna, usually, he has to sacrifice many things. He has to be dutiful to the people, generosity of the people, generous, kind to them, and listening to them. And his time is not his time. His wealth is not his wealth.
The new Sardauna, resplendent on his regalia and new title, wrote his ancestral home. The night before, the Sardauna held a banquet, which turned out to be a dance night. As a Katsina chieftain, he invited the Nupe to dance for him. They obliged. At the Atuase of Ikari land, he also invited the Ikari cultural troupe, who literally hypnotized the arena. Actually, it is a measure of his pan-Nigerian nature that the new Sardauna is the in-law of the palace of Ikari in Ondo State. His only wife is actually the princess of Ikari.
I am really happy. I never knew I was going to be this happy.
When the formal turbaning was done with, The Sardauna Ibrahim Ida hosted another banquet for the invited guests, including federal government delegation, who between mouthfuls shared their joy.
They should even do greater things that will actually develop Katsina Emirate and indeed humanity at large.
At a time like this, I asked the Idas, what is the face of the future?
He has always brought us up to be well behaved and take care of people. So the only thing now is it's going to be more than before.
It is now that I have an official weight of people on me that I will now ensure that I do what is best for Katsina people, I do what is best for humanity, I do what is best for the Emirate of Katsina. Today is a day for me. Today is my day. I thank the Almighty and I am determined, I have resolved that whatever it takes, I will ensure that the people are happy.
Generally, it was a celebration which Katsina has not seen for a long time and which is destined to influence its future.
Fabulous celebration. Congratulations to the people of Katsina. The bloody clashes in Jos, the Plateau state capital, have been a source of worry and concern not only to government but to all Nigerians. As law enforcement staff did their utmost to instill sanity in the affected areas, selected members of a particular community took turns to secure the tertiary campus in their domain. Sani Ibn Saleh reports that the town has received a pat on the back for being their brother's keeper.
University of Jos, one of the second-generation institutions of higher learning in Nigeria, is spread in various locations in Jos, the Plateau State capital, and its multi-campuses, like the main campus along Bauchi Road, Student Village along Palargada, Naraguta Hostels, Permanent Site, and the Gangare campus. This multi-campus nature across Jos metropolis, apart from its inherent stress, puts both the staff, students, and the structures at risk during incidents of conflict that crop up in the city from time to time. The Gangare campus, where University of Jos started from as a campus of University of Ibadan, accommodates the Center for Continuing Education, among others. Over the years, authorities of University of Jos have cultivated a good neighborliness policy with its neighboring communities. It was no wonder, therefore, when in the wake of the eruption of fresh crisis on Friday, September 28th this year, the Gangare community organized themselves to secure the entire structure of the university's Center for Continuing Education.
During the last crisis, a community within the old campus provided security cover for university staff and students, as well as all property of the university within that campus. To us, this was very, very commendable.
We quickly mobilized our youth, the good ones, with the elders, the vigilante. We went there to the mirror and protect the people that are passing, because you find Muslim and non-Muslim passing that area, and we cannot allow a bloodshed to be shed in our area.
In appreciation to this show of good neighborliness, the Vice Chancellor directed the Center for Continuing Education to appreciate the effort of the Gangare community in writing.
Some of the victims were caught up in other parts of the town and not on the campuses.
We secure the university and their properties by the grace of God.
As human beings, we need to protect each other, and as Muslims, we are not allowed to make anything that will lead to loss of a life.
The first crisis, my community have been protecting the university, but this is the first time the university have written a letter.
The Vice Chancellor assured parents, guardians, and the general public of the safety of all staff and students, saying the institution's activities have since resumed in full.
I want to assure all stakeholders that the university is peaceful and that our campuses are safe, and we give you the assurance that we will do all it takes for us to ensure that both staff and students are always safe.
Some of the students also bear their minds.
Adequate securities have been put in place, so I'm urging my fellow students, wherever they are, they should come back.
To tell their side what they're not that what they are hearing is different. What they are hearing, they should come and see what is happening. So the news is different for what they are carrying out there.
As the University of Jos consolidates in its strides in the field of education, the essence of peace and good neighborliness cannot be lost among Nigerians.
It's a commendation well deserved. We'll still have more for your delight. Stay with Newsline.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
It was sunset at dawn for practitioners in the entertainment industry and fans of foremost actor and comedian Moses Adejumor, who passed on a few days ago. This report by Muhammad Abdulkadri is a tribute to the late legend, fondly called Baba Salah, a character he played for many years.
That was the sight and sound of late comedian Moses Olaiya alias Baba Salah. His exploits in other movies are evergreen. This is the National Theatre, Igamo, Lagos, where the late great comic entertainer with deep sense of humor performed on several occasions, especially during national events.
When we are talking of comedian, people, both his appearance, Baba is unique.
Decades of stage performances in concerts and rib-breaking jokes in films are great tributes and attributes to a man called King of Nigerian comedy.
It's a huge love song because while we are growing up, we watch him, a wonderful actor, a wonderful comedian, somebody who is very, very creative. That's Baba Salah for you.
Like every veteran who eventually goes, a large chunk of our history has gone with him. It's sad.
Baba Salah happened to be one of the pioneers of the comedy.
The ambience of celebration of life of Baba Salah is palpable everywhere. Even on the streets of Lagos, I got more than I bargained for, working on a tribute to the late octogenarian and comedian.
I don't think there will be any replacement.
Some key players in the nation's entertainment sector say a rare gem is gone. Great Larry Williams, you remember that character in The Village Headmaster? He told us that his path crossed with that of the late comic entertainer several times.
He wasn't just a straight comedian. He was a dramatist, a man with a fantastic sense of humor.
Now he's gone with over 80 years of experience. We've lost all of that. We've lost fundamentals in his interpretation.
I've known him for the past 40 years. His comedy brought a lot of ideas into it.
The multi-talented artist started his comedy in the 60s. He later formed Moses Olaiya Rhythm Dandies, during which time King Sunny Ade came under his tutelage. It is also to his credit that the classic Yoruba comedy produced the likes of Baba Aluwe, Baba Suwe, and his son, Emmanuel Adejuma, better known by his stage name as Boy Salah.
We are following his footsteps already. He told me personally, don't leave this job. Don't leave this job. I went to school, I studied theater arts, and I'm much more into it.
The veteran actor will be remembered for pioneering mobile theater troupe under the name of Alawada Baba Salah Group that performed in all parts of the country. Born May 17, 1937 into the family of Abogunloko of Ijoka Ilesha in Osun State, his death signifies end of an era in the entertainment industry. He signed off the stage of life and entertainment on Sunday 7th of this month at the age of 81.
Ruminating over so many works of the late comedian, one of it titled Orumoru, where he actually dreamt that he was dead, he came to a conclusion that there's too much heat in the hereafter. As a matter of fact, he was said to have died in some films. And again, in recent times, he was rumored to have died. But this time around, it is real. But the good works he left behind will continue to live after him. Rest in peace, Baba.
It's indeed a painful passing. May his soul continue to rest in peace. Amen. We would want to believe that your time with us was delightful. We'll do even better come Sunday next week. Always have a positive attitude like Ali Baba, who is right here. Looking very nice today.
Yeah, and I'm wearing one of those ties that Baba Salah was known for. You know, those big ties.
Is it deliberate or you just made that up?
He will be remembered.
Yes,
greatly
he will.
remembered.
He will. Make sure you watch his show. It's coming right after this. God bless Nigeria.